White Sox baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago.
the Indians at 19-33 lineup with Donald leading it off and Chu hitting second. Kearns in center field tonight hitting third. Then it's Branyan, Peralta, Hafner, Duncan, Valbuena, and Lou Marson catching and hitting ninth. Jimmy John's defensive setup and how they'll line up behind John Danks left to right, Pierre Rios and Quinton in the infield. Alexei Ramirez, Beckham, and Kotze at first base. A.J. Przynski behind the plate, and the Toyota starting pitcher is John Danks. Looking for win number 5 is ZRA, a fine .334. Last time out he had some problems. You see left-handers better against him than right-handers. That'll come into play in the top 4 hitters for the Indians. The game conditions, beautiful tonight, 80 degrees with 67% humidity. The winds out of the southwest, 10 to 15 miles an hour. The forecast, isolated thunderstorms, but not in evidence right now. The umpires, Ron Culpa behind the plate. Lance Barksdale is at first, Ed Rapuano at second, and Tom Hallion is at third. So as the Sox throw the ball around the infield, they get it back to John Danks, who has given up 2 earned runs or less in 8 of his 10 starts. On a gorgeous night, we're ready to play baseball, and I'm ready to turn over to my play-by-play partner, Hawk Harrelson.
All right, former Cy Young Award winner. And once again, welcome to White Sox baseball right here on Comcast Sportsnet, first of this 3-game set. Jason Donald will lead it off. He comes in hitting at .278, a homer. He has driven in 6. Outfield straight up for the 25-year-old infielder, and there's first pitch strike. Indians come in hitting at .241 as a club. They are 11-19 on the road. They're in the midst of the last leg, I should say, of a 10-game road trip, where they are 2-5 in the first 7 games.
Well, let's make that a little bit worse.
Yes. There's a little ground ball, 3-hopper. And that's out number 1. Tony told you these guys have been tough on us. This is the 10th meeting between these two teams. In the first 9, well, we've won 3 of them.
One of the big reasons why they're tough on John Danks, as they have been 3 and 5 lifetime with the area close to 5, is that they've got 4 left-handers in the lineup, and they're all pretty decent hitters. And Chu and Branyan especially have hurt John Danks.
Chu is 6 for 16 lifetime against Johnny with a homer. His changeup, when he is right, when Danks is right, his changeup against right-handers is awesome. And that same changeup he can throw to left-handers, and it's not awesome. And you say, well, why is that? If it's an awesome changeup, it's an awesome changeup. Well, to right-handers it is, to left-handers it's not.
Well, the changeup is designed to float low and away to right-handers, and it goes low and into lefties.
That ball hammered into center field right at Alex. Knuckles on him a little bit. He stays right with it. Nice catch. Nice recovery right there.
Well, you know that Chu's going to hit the ball hard. The question is, will he hit it at somebody? And the answer, at least the first time, was yes. This was not an easy play because it was scalded, and it came out with virtually no spin at all, which creates a knuckleball effect.
So here is Austin Kearns hitting at .282, 3 homers. He's driven in 22. He was with Washington last year, where he had 195, 3 homers, and drove in 17. That was just we don't know. I don't know if he was hurt or just had a miserable year.
Might have been a little of both.
Yeah, it could have been, because he's a much, much better hitter than that. 1-1 to count.
He's in center field tonight, and that's an unusual position for him, but they decided to give Crow a rest. That meant that Kearns plays center.
Through the wickets of AJ, and the count 2-1. And here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center.
You just assume this inning end with Kearns because it's been Branyan that's really hurt John Danks.
There's that good changeup. He kept it down. If he misses, he's got to miss down. If he keeps it down, he's going to win. If he gets it up, he's going to lose.
Here's a look at Russell Branyan. Had a big year with Seattle last year, and they let him go via free agency.
Close didn't get it. Well, last year, Branyan hit 31 homers. And that's a pretty big ballpark.
And Seattle is dying for power. They let some of it get away.
And that is foul back.
Like the Mariners just lost Ken Griffey. He retired. But they're 22-31. Still only 6 games in back of Texas and Oakland, virtually tied.
There's a high changeup right there that's hit hard. I was listening to that game last night, the last 5 innings, and Felix Hernandez was dealing.
Well, between Hernandez and Lee, that's 2 tough outings for any offense.
And they just shut down the Minnesota offense easily. And there's another high changeup hit into center field. So if he gets it up, as I said, he's going to get beat.
If you're going to get the changeup up, it's usually going to be in the first couple of innings. You just don't have the feel for it yet. You see that ball out of the strike zone, but Kearns, having a good year, came in hitting over 280, took advantage of it by just floating it into right center.
So here's Branyan, 5 for 8 lifetime off Danks. Comes in hitting at 236 on the season with 7 homers and 14 knocked in. And that's just a rope hook.
He's got a tremendous uppercut swing, like most home run hitters. If you can throw a fastball right across the Cleveland logo, you've got him. If you get it down, more times than not, he's got you.
On the outside corner. And the count 0-2 with Johnny Peralta on deck. Big month right here for our Sox. Big month. A lot of home games. And we've got to get back in this thing.
Nobody knows that better than Ozzie as he looks on. He certainly liked the way last night was played. Now you got to start putting a few together.
Well, Freddie was just outstanding. Thank goodness for Freddie Garcia.
He's been the #1 starter on a team that he was slated to be #5. There's no doubt that Freddie has put together a terrific run.
He did not go, says Tom Hallion.
I like the fact that John threw a changeup to him. At least he's establishing in the mind of the left-hand hitters that he will throw them changeups.
And the 2-2 pitch. Oh, broken bat of Matabalacola. Alexei is there, throws him out, and that'll retire the side. After a half inning of play, it's the Indians nothing, and the good guys coming to bat.
Ramirez and Gordon Beckham at second base, hitting 9. Jimmy John's defensive setup behind Masterson, left to right, Duncan, Kearns, and Chu in the infield, Peralta, Donald, Valbuena, and Branyan. Marson behind the plate, and the Toyota starting pitcher is 0-5, Justin Masterson. Personal 11-game losing streak. Last time out against the Yankees, he seemed to find it, and he threw the ball very well in 6 of the 3rd innings.
First pitch strike to Juan Pierre, and before we show you our picks to click you at home, select yours. That's down low. One comes in hitting at 248. He's 3 for 6 lifetime off the big 6'6", 250-pound right-hander out of Fortville, Indiana. Chopper foul.
Masterson throws off the extreme first base side of the pitching rubber, and probably the reason for that is trying to get that slider in the left-hand hitters, because that's been a big problem with him. You see where he sets up. Left-handers have really hurt him.
Hitting 370 against him. As that's down in the end, that's a good pitch.
It is that slider. You see where Marson wants it? And that ball had a little sink on it. It appears, at least the first hitter, that Marson is starting to stay on top more to left-handers, which is the only way to consistently get them out.
First pitch strike to Omar. Omar hitting at 230. There's a shot base hit right back through the middle. So you can cancel a post-game show.
Once they made the lineups with the left-handers in it, you can cancel that. This fastball right down the middle, not much deception from a guy who throws low 3/4, very low 3/4.
Here's Rios. Alex hitting at 317, 12 homers. He's driven in 28. Takes first pitch strike. He has faced Masterson 13 times. He has 3 hits, 2 of which stayed in the park. And the count evens at 1.
Well, Masterson is very slow to the plate. However, Marson is very quick and accurate to second base.
And Omar is only one of 4 players in Major League history to have a stolen base in 4 different decades.
That's pretty impressive.
So stick that in your play.
That is pretty impressive, especially with the names he joins, and one was most surprising. We're gonna show it to you.
Chops that foul.
Now here's the graphic. Which name shouldn't belong but does? Ricky Henderson and Tim Raines, you figure, and Ted Williams. And Omar joining a very elite club. So Ted could run that well, huh?
No. Oh, as he hits him. I would have to say that was probably on the donkey end of a double steal.
Could very well be. But he did it 4 different decades. Now, on this play, this truly is the hit and run. Because Vizquel was running and he hit Rios. Well, that's as good a hit and run as you can get.
Yeah, if you're Vizquel.
Yeah, of course. There's the run. There's the hit.
5th batter hit by Masterson this year. And that'll bring up Andrew Jones. Andrew, who last night cranked out his 398th home run of his career, his 10th of the season.
What I like is he took it to right center field.
Andrew well off the plate with an open stance. Takes that pitch right there. That's his wheelhouse. He missed that home run last night. Poof.
Lewis tried to stay away. He did. But it didn't stay in the park.
I'd say on deck. And that's low 1-1.
Cleveland camp still divided on Masterson's future. About half the Cleveland folks believe that his destiny is the bullpen. probably as a setup man. The other half think that he should be in the rotation, and here he is in the rotation.
Well, from what we have seen of Justin Masterson, they have seen more, obviously, a lot more than we have. We saw him in the Boston uniform. The only pitch that he is even close to getting in on a left-hander and doing any damage is that slider. I mean, if you stand off the plate and take that slider away from him, then he has no pitch to get a left-hander. Unless he can throw it through a teacup, and he can't do that. Checks it up, bobbles it. Now his only play is going to be to first base.
Well, we're going to catch a break because that's an easy double play if he fields it cleanly. Andrew get turned around in the box. Check swing. Watch Andrew. He's a little slow getting out of the box. If Masterson fields it, it's 2. He doesn't. So essentially, we're going to get 4 outs this inning. And normally when that happens, the pitcher is going to pay.
Mark Kotsay hitting at 196, 5 homers. He's driven in 12. Takes it right there. And he fouls that pitch back. So very quickly the count 0-2.
Kearns does not have the overwhelming center field speed that you would like, and that could be to their detriment tonight.
Takes that one up high.
That one at 96, so there's nothing wrong with the velocity of Masterson.
Ducks on the pond, 2 down and a 1-2 count to Kotsay. And it's even at 2 with Carlos Quentin, the on-deck hitter.
Well, if you missed it, Dave Tremblay was indeed fired by Baltimore, replaced by interim manager Juan Samuel. Baltimore at 15-39.
Well, what's a man to do? What's a man to do? You can only play with what you got.
They didn't have much.
Checks it up and a full count. They haven't had anything since he's been there.
Brian Roberts out. Markakis not hitting the same kind of power. The rest of the guys, not the young players that they have in their system, but guys who are veteran players and just not getting the job done.
And the payoff pitch. Checks it up, and that's ball 4. So had him 0-2 and walks it. And you at home now can be a part of our Picks to Click segment for each game. Tune in to Felco pregame live each game to see Ozzie Guillen's lineup, then make your selection on who you think will be the pick to click of the game. And tonight, the White Sox fans watching at home have voted for Omar Vizquel, who is singled, and he's standing at third. Jim Angiu, our director and crew, are going with A.J. Pierzynski. Stone Pony is going with Carlos Quentin. And Andy and Annetta Place and I, Andy and Annetta from Granger, Indiana, we're going to go with Mark Kotsay. As there's strike 1 to Quentin. Carlos has faced Masterson 6 times and is 0 for 6.
But he's certainly due.
Goes to that fastball and the count 0-2. Well, of the 6 at-bats he's had, he's 0 for 6 with 2 strikeouts.
Well, I will tell you that I sought some help from our seer up here in the booth, Joe Grew.
The mayor, Mean Joe. And that breaking ball out and around it, chops it foul. Stay with him.
He told me that Masterson's going to hang Carlos a breaking ball and he's going to hit it hard.
And you believe it.
And I bought some land from him.
The 0-2. And there's a comebacker, so he's going to pitch out of it. Sox threatened here in the first, can't do anything with it. And after 1, no score.
But perfect pitch by John Danks, especially 3-2 when you got a hitter in protection mode.
So here's Duncan. He comes in hitting at 308. No homers. He's driven in 4. He has faced Danks one time, has 1 hit, and it was a home.
They brought him back when it became apparent that Grady Sizemore would have to have knee surgery.
Well, Grady and now they just moved him to the 60-day list. Had a nice one-handed catch by one of the fans way down in the LG Skyline Club seats. Showtime right here.
Well, hits this ball a long way. And a fine play in the seats.
Tells his fans, yeah, before I tore my rotator cuff.
I could have made it. I could have been a contender.
Could have been there.
Absolutely.
Could have been there. Just a short lead by Peralta. And that pitch up high. Shelley, the son of Dave, pitching coach for Tony La Russa. And former teammate of mine.
I know that Dave had a lot of power. Was he a good catcher?
He was all right. He was all right.
Did he give you any indication that he would ever be a pitching coach?
No. No.
Really somewhat astounding transformation.
Well, the one thing, he was always a good listener. And you're right, he had a lot of power at 6 o'clock. Here's a ground ball left side. Can they turn it? Yes. Back him up. And that'll do it. Pitches over the leadoff single after an inning and a half, no score. Is on demand with Xfinity TV from Comcast. Don't miss the action. Call 1-800-XFINITY today. No score, bottom of the second inning here. 0-2-0 for them, 0-1-0 for us. AJ, and we have to hope that our left-handers can get some hitting 370 off this guy coming in.
Well, I think AJ is starting to swing the bat very well, and you would think that this guy would be perfect for him.
Takes first pitch strike. AJ 5 for 8 against him. And there's 0-2. Well, reason the Commangio and the crew took it.
No. Pre-game research. Unfair advantage. Can I protest?
Yeah, but if you lose, it's double. And you know what?
And you're the judge.
That's it.
You're pretty much thinking I lost this one. I'm not gonna appeal.
It's just like getting the ticket down in LaPorte. 2-2. And fouls that one out of play.
Esterson was one of the guys that came over from the Boston Red Sox in exchange for Victor Martinez. Nick Hagedorn, a promising young pitcher, came over in that deal. It was a 3-for-1.
Fair ball. Branyan sucks it up, 1 out. So here is Ramirez. Alexei hitting at 249, 2 for 9 lifetime off Masters. First of a 3-game set on a beautiful evening here in the beautiful city. You know, that was interesting, though, about your question about Duncan, who was a catcher and now has done a terrific job as a pitching coach. And but the one thing, as I said, he was always a good listener. He was always respected by his pitchers because he was such a hard worker. Did he have a lot of talent? No, he didn't. But you know, guys of that ilk, they work hard, they put their time in, they keep their mouth shut, and the guys respect it.
Well, that's the most amazing thing. We've seen a lot of catchers become very good major league managers, but we just haven't seen them go that route of becoming pitching coaches.
Well, he was here, you know, when he was here, he was not that, by some of by a lot of the organization, that well thought of as a pitching coach. And I think that what happened with Dave as time went on and Tony took him out to Oakland, and they've been together forever. There's a chopper 2 hopper, and that's out number 2, that he learned more about it and he applied it, and he has a lot of experience now.
He'll be 20. 24.
Almost 40 years as a pitching coach now.
40.
Close. Well, no, excuse me, 30.
Yeah.
Almost 30.
I know the guys speak very highly of him. He's also made a lot of guys a lot of money who thought their careers were coming to a close.
Well, he's had some reclamation projects. Beckham, the 0-1 pitch. Slider away.
I know he got a hold of Joel Pinheiro when there weren't a lot of people that thought that Pinheiro could pitch. Had a great year last year for St. Louis. Not quite the same out in Anaheim.
That's just over the head. Barehanded by Balbuena.
He's safe at first.
Safe. He made the right call. Lance Barksdale makes the right call.
Well, he pulled him off the bag. There was a delay on the call. But he was safe fairly comfortably.
Good effort by Valbuena.
Just can't get the throw on target. And right there you see at the last instant, Branyan trying to get the bag. He doesn't get it. He goes over the top of it.
And because of that, Beckham picks up the base hit. He is now 5 for 8 off Masterson. Want to know the count to Pierre. Struck out swinging on a bad slider down and in. Pretty good lead. He takes off. Marson, quick release into center field. He's up into third, so the stolen base. That is his 4th in the era on Marson. That's his 2nd.
That throw was on the extreme first base side of second. Beckham gets a very good jump. Now Marson's going to get him if it's a good throw. It wasn't. And you saw Donald coming across well in front of the bag. But he has to try to go get the baseball, and he just couldn't get there. Too much into the path of the runner.
Nice little pop-up slide by Beckham. And the 3-0 pitch. Way outside. So now good speed at first and third. Here with 21 stolen bases and 25 attempts. And here's Vizquel. He rifled a single back through the middle. Vizquel just continues to roll. He's only 2 hits behind Lou Gehrig for 55th. There goes. There's a high throw. Safe.
A lot of catchers don't throw through in a situation where they have a premier base stealer, and Juan is just that. But he chose to throw through. The throw was high. He didn't get him. Here, 22 bags stolen.
There's a strike. And the count 1-1. Vizquel now 2,719 hits. Just 2 behind Lou Gehrig. And chops that one foul, so the count 1-2. Big gap out there in right center. And that is poked into left field, but Duncan is there, makes a catch, a nice play. And that saved 2 runs. We threaten again. Can't score, and we're into the third. The third inning. No score. 0-2-1 for them. 0-2-0 for us. Luis Valbuena hitting at 149, a couple of homers. He's driven in 11. Last year hit 250, 10 homers, and knocked in 31 for the Tribe. And the count moves to 2-0.
He's not done very much this year, but obviously at 149, but he's hit the ball well against us.
He's played well both ways, with the lumber and the leather against us. That's out of play, and the count evens at 2. Outfield really spread out. Just off the corner. And that's back through the middle. What new?
Doesn't matter what he's hitting, but he's going to hit the ball hard. Got a 3-2 fastball. John didn't want to walk him. And he took it right back up the middle. It was a high fastball, inner half. He did just what he should have done.
That'll bring up the catcher Lou Marson. Hitting at 203, no homers. He's driven in 7, but he's 2 for 4 lifetime. Oh, Johnny Danks.
Also got a couple of sacrifices this year, and as they roll over to the top, we'll see what Manny Acta has in mind.
Take strike 1. Just a short lead by Valbuena.
We thought we were going to see Carlos Santana. They're a very talented young catcher. But it's Marson.
High and wide. 1-1. Yeah, a lot of times pitchers have a little say in that. But with certain managers and general managers, they'll go to the pitchers. Hey, how do you like throwing to Marson? If it's a consensus and it's really strong, Santana has played other positions before. He played third and in the outfield.
They're going to need his bat here. The question being, where would it be best suited?
Yeah, he's the kind of hitter you say he is. I know I looked at his numbers, and his numbers are pretty stout. But a lot of times those numbers don't equate to pitchers liking to throw to him.
That's true.
Can't turn it too slow. But they get the lead man.
Gordon does a nice job of staying in there, knowing that Valbuena was going to come across the bag. He did. It was a slow developing play. And watch Valbuena. Now, he slid over the bag. That could have been interpreted as interference.
So here's Jason Donald. I'll give you a good example of the pitchers I did not understand when they had a catcher that led their team in home runs last year, and they got rid of him, Miguel Olivo. Why? They said the pitchers didn't want to throw to him. And a lot of times, as you well know, with certain pitching staffs, that's just a crutch.
Tough to blame the catcher for your problems.
That's exactly right. Big hack at a change. Donald grounded out to his counterpart, Alexei. Marson with just a static lead.
Marson's got surprising speed for a catcher. So you can't take him for granted down there.
Off the end of the bat. Bobble got time. Takes it, makes it.
That one came off with a lot of spin, but I think John feels that he should have had it and should have been able to turn the double play. So we've seen this twice tonight. Balls hit back at the pitcher, especially on the glove side. You pretty much have to make that play, and it would have been 2, but instead John has to settle for 1.
So here's Chu. He just rocketed a line shot that knuckled on Alex Rios in center field, but he stayed with it and made a nice catch. Little high neck in, and the count 1-0.
That'll get you off the plate.
The pick by AJ. And the count 2-0.
The question for John Danks, does he feel comfortable with Kearns, who's in the on-deck circle, or does he want to go with Chu?
Well, if he didn't want to go with Chu, that's the last thing that Shin-Soo Chu was looking for right there.
Fastball on the inner half.
Comes right at him with another fastball inside, and the count evens at 2. Chu 6 for 17 with a homer off Danks. And he chops that one foul. You don't see a lot of pretty good left-handed hitters hitting Danks to left field. Most of them are pulling him. Change up, he gone. And that'll do it. After 2.5, still no score. Big man from Gary.
Saw him a couple times yesterday.
That's a strong man.
Day before, he's a big man.
He's stronger than he is big. Alex Rios, Andrew Jones, and Mark Kotsay here in the bottom of the third inning. Takes it up. Alex was hit by a pitch. Like he got him right above the ankle. Tops that one foul. Later on, Minnesota taking the A's at the Coliseum. Tampa Bay leading Texas 4-2 down at Arlington. That ball hit hard in the center field. Stretch. Get on back there. Kearns right against the Walgreens sign. As Alex continues to hit the ball hard. Mercy.
Unfortunately, this ball just ran out of steam in front of the wall. Alex hit it pretty hard, but caught it more off the end of the bat than he would have liked. Kearns able to go back and make the play. Apparently that managerial change has not helped the Orioles very much because they're losing 8-0 to the Red Sox.
Kansas City leading the Tigers 3-0 bottom of the third at Kauffman Stadium.
OKC as the Tigers come in after the try.
That's fouled away. Andrew bounced back to Masterson. No, the Orioles, that's a shame. One of the great baseball franchises.
Oh, ready to lose their 9th in a row.
Great fans.
Yep.
Great fans.
They always have been, but unfortunately now they're staying away in droves.
Well, when you make as many bad signs in a couple of year period as they did a few years ago, it's going to take you a long time to recover. Full count to Andrew. A long time. Watch out, that's ball 4.
It'll take you a lot longer in the American League East than it would probably take you in any other division in all of baseball.
Well, that's commiserate, as you just said. That's commiserate with the strength of the division. Stronger the division, the longer it will take you to make bad decisions. The weaker divisions.
They got 4 good teams in that division besides Baltimore. I mean, and they're all good teams.
So here's Kotsay. He drew a walk. Takes a strike just on the outside edge of the outside corner.
Toronto is in 4th place at 31-24. They're playing .564 baseball. And yet there's a lot of room for them to improve.
Just ate him up. They're going to go to second. Get the. Now the pitch is off his foot. Yeah. Foul ball. And everybody will go back. Yeah, the Blue Jays have a good ball club. They have some real good pitching.
They can hit the ball out of the ballpark with the best of them.
They have some real good pitching as well.
Starting rotation is very good.
Bullpen is shaky.
And there you take a look at the Rays atop the board. The Yankees trying to run them down. The Red Sox just starting to find their game.
So the count hangs at 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. First of a 3-game set. And now that Lance Johnson jump didn't work this time. But if it had a.
We've done this a couple of times. And really the object of this is to make sure that the pitcher actually is delivering the baseball.
Or not looking at you.
Yeah. But he was looking and he didn't deliver the baseball. Mander is out by plenty. He was running out of gas in that.
The concept is good. 1-2 the count. Checks it up on that sinker. That's down. 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Game 2 tomorrow night. 6:10 start. Make your plans to be with us here. Jake Peavy against Mitch Talbot, who has beaten us twice this year.
Mitch Talbot got hammered last time out, so maybe he'll carry a little of that with him against us, because he's looked awfully good in his 2 starts against us.
Then on Sunday in the finale, Mark Burley against Jake Westbrook. Westbrook has threw the ball well his last start. Checks it up in a full count. And if you can't make it to the park tomorrow night, that game will be over WGN. And on Sunday, right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. So the second walk to Kotsay, third issued by Masterson. Make that 4. I'd say twice, Jones, and 1 Pierre. So here's Carlos. He came to the plate back in the first inning with the bases loaded, 2 out, and hit a little tapper back to Masterson.
But it was a hard tap.
Checks it up. And takes ball 1.
Carlos unloaded last night, and he went to the opposite field to do it. Masterson likes to keep the ball down. They should play right into the hands of Quentin.
Lays off a breaking pitch.
Now you've got him to the point where the hitter has a huge advantage.
And he pops him up. Now, Branyan stays with it. Lost it momentarily, and that'll retire the side. We're into the 4th. No score.
The fourth inning is brought to you by the KFC Fan Feast. Feed up to 5 fans with the KFC Fan Feast, only $19.99.
We have 3 in the books as Austin Kearns takes ball 1. He's 1 for 1. Does a high changeup. Up and out over the plate. And poked it into center field for a base hit. There's the strike to even the count at 1.
Well, both teams have had their chances. We've had a few more chances than the Tribe.
Fouls that back. And the Chicago Tribune ticket to summer giveaway. Win tickets to see the White Sox host the Cubs June 25th, 6th, or 27th at U.S. Cellular Field. Look for the ticket to summer prize code inside your Chicago Tribune Sunday, June 6th, Friday of June 11th, and Sunday, June 13th. As he gone. 1 down. Look for more great prizes all summer long. A Chicago Tribune ticket to summer giveaway.
Down through a good fastball, low and away from Kearns. 3 strikeouts, no walks.
And here's Branyan, who grounded out a broken bat to Alexei. Took something off that curveball. And the count 0-2.
AJ wants it low and away. John doesn't get it there, but it certainly is effective.
.34-year-old veteran Russell Branyan last year with the Mariners, 251, 31 homers, 76 knocked in. He gone.
He's using that straight change to the lefties, and it's been very effective.
Well, we've discussed it almost every time Johnny Danks has been out there. It's his best pitch. It's his signature pitch, defining pitch. So if it's your defining pitch, your signature pitch, and you're not going to throw it to left-handers, come on.
Nope, he's doing it tonight, and it's worked. So you learn something every night out on the mound, and he's learned something tonight.
Johnny Peralta singled into right field. And the count 1-1.
Now John's starting to get a little better feel for that changeup.
Well, you know, there are always exceptions to every rule. And you got certain hitters that your defining pitch might be his strength. And if that's the case, you might have to make some adjustments in. Well, if it's an Albert Pujols or a Joe Mauer or one of those guys. Outside of that, there's not many of those guys around. Nice inning for Johnny Danks. A couple of strikeouts and a flyout, and it's still 0-0. field. Started off a little shaky out there, then worked on it hard. Kitty was a hard worker. Kept working and working and working, and finally turned himself into a decent left fielder. As here is A.J. Pierzynski. Bottom of the 4th inning. It'll be the lower third of our order. First ball hunting. Chopper 2 hopper. 1 pitch. 1 out. The thing that always amazed me about Kitty. 2 things, really. First of all, he was just a big kid. You know how strong he is. Big, strong. In spring training every year down at Siesta Key in Sarasota. After the workout was over, he'd been working his behind off all day. He'd come. He stayed at the same condos that most of the families did. As there he fakes the bunt, takes the ball. Alexei. He's 0 for 1, grounded out to short. He'd get in the pool with all the kids and play with them for a couple hours. I mean, the kids love Ron Kittle. They just absolutely adored him. But the next thing that really amazed me about him was he absolutely owned the Dutchman.
Not too many right-handers can say that about Bert Blylock.
That's exactly right. And he would be the one guy you say, no. He owned it. I'm telling you, the harder Dutchman threw, the further he'd hit it. The better the curveball he threw, the further he'd hit it. He just owned it.
Going back to what you were talking about the strength of a pitcher as opposed to the hitter, I always felt that you go with your strength first, not the hitter's weakness, your strength. If he shows you that he can hit your strength, then you have to go to his weakness. And most pitchers, it's the arm side that they can control. In the case of a right-hander, it's inside to right-handers, outside to left-handers. Most of the pitchers, not all of them. And that's what I would go to until he showed me he could deal with that, and then you have to make an adjustment.
That ball high and deep. Stretch. Ducking goes back, looks up. You can put it on the board. Yeah. Yeah. Number 5 for Alexei, and the Sox lead it 1-0.
5 and 22 on the power numbers. That was a towering fly ball hit over the bullpen. Our Ford home run replay. That looked like an attempt at a sinker. And it was right on the inner third. Alexei hit the daylights out of it.
So here's Beckham. Don't stop now, boys. Keep going. Could not check it up. He had a little chopping infield single over the head of Masterson. Back in the second. Then he stole second for his 4th stolen base and went to third on the throwing error by Marson. 2 down. And of course, with that home run by Ramirez, Alex Snelly's family will donate $100 to White Sox charities for every Sox homer hit throughout the course of the season, and that is number 64. So $6,400 donated by Alex Snellius in loving memory of Ursula.
Well, every run we've scored the last 2 nights has been courtesy of the long ball.
And that's fouled away. And every White Sox Friday home game is United Flyaway Friday. Each Friday home game, one lucky fan will have the chance to win 2 free round-trip tickets to anywhere in the continental United States that United Airline flies. United, proud to fly the Chicago White Sox. Mark Seifold, Sparky, the Sparkaroo.
He does a great job. Because that's not an easy job.
And Mike, they've worked there behind him.
They sure do. And we appreciate it.
That's trouble if it stays fair.
It will. And the reason why we know it's going to stay fair is that foul line, everything rolls back toward the field of play. When you've got a good bunter and he's your leadoff hitter, you don't want the ball in that area to go into foul territory. So although I'm sure that all fields are the same, this one happens to spin back toward the field of play.
We've been watching that since 1990 here, haven't we?
Yes, indeed.
So here's Omar. He's 1 for 2. Single sharply back to the middle. Then last time up in the second inning with a couple of guys on. Poked one into left field that Shelley Duncan made a nice running catch on.
There's Pierre. Second to Rajay Davis. Good time for a pitch out if you're Manny Acton.
And there's a strike. 0-2.
That's a lot of pitches so far. Not through the fourth inning.
There he goes. And that's tough foul. Well, Dave Ross just looked it up. Ron Kittle's numbers against the Dutchman Bert Blyleven in 44 at-bats at 318 with 9 home runs and 16 RBIs.
Wow.
In 44 at-bats.
Especially with Bert's curveball. Jeez, I don't know how you do that.
I don't either. I have no clue how you do it. He just owned it. But Bert had got to the point there. Bert would throw Kitty a pitch. Kitty had hit it, and Bert just looking at the umpire and said, "Give me another one." Never look at the ball.
Didn't have to. You can tell.
No.
If you're on the mound, you can tell by the sound.
There's a pitch out. And the throw is high. Oh. Close. Meanwhile, a home run by Alexei. Sox lead at 1-0. And if you are the 500 texter, you could win $5 foot-long subs from Subway and get a free English muffin melt on June 8th from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. 11 a.m. I should say, at your participating Chicagoland Subway. 0-1 the count to Hafner. 1-0 good guys here in the top of the 5th inning. Breaking ball low.
To this point, it's been a microcosm of John Dank's season. He throws the ball well. Doesn't have near as much to show for it as he should, with an ERA, even after last time out, still in the mid-3s.
There's a chopper to Hopper. And let's take another look at that close play at second base. Good call by Ed Rapuano. And I mean, It was close. Watch this. Maybe an inch.
Well, you see where Donald sets up. He's going to make sure that he gets the tag on the base runner before he gets there, because he's set up straddling the bag. You don't have to go far with the tag.
Here's Duncan, hit into a 5-4-3 double play to end the second inning. Yeah, that was a good call on an absolute, really close play. Watch out.
That one just rocketed into the seats. Right above our camera position down there. And apparently, looks like everybody's okay.
Still had Miller Lite. Chops that one into our dugout. Boy, Shelley looks just like his dad, doesn't he?
He looks a lot like him.
Just like him. He gone. Just like him.
Good high heat out of the strike zone. When you're ahead of the hitter, this looks very enticing, but there is nobody in the game who can catch up to one up there. They might hit it face high, but not helmet high or higher.
Here's Valbuena. He singled back through the middle. Fouls that one out of play. All right, Johnny Danks, you got your run. Hold right there, kid. Curveball, yes. Nice.
They start to mix that in a little more frequently, which gives the hitters a completely different look. They know he's got a straight change. They know he has a cutter or a slider. They're interchangeable in the case of John. And now you show him the curveball, usually in pretty good shape.
1-2.
Pretty impressive numbers so far with nary a walk.
And there's another base hit by Valbuena. What new? So that'll bring up the catcher, Lou Marson. Hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice.
Marson has yet to hit a home run, and you still have to respect the fact that he can bunt.
Just off the outside corner.
Outfield playing a shade toward right center field. Infield pretty much straight up. I don't think that you want to walk Marson to get to Donald. Donald actually came in red hot, although he is 0 for 2 tonight. And he is their leadoff hitter.
Come back and get him, Johnny.
This will be pitch number 82. With 2 outs here in the 5th inning.
And there is ball 4. So 2 quick outs and then the single by Valbuena, the walk to Marson. And here's Donald, who has grounded to short and then grounded back to Danks.
Donald got his chance to play when Asdrubal Cabrera, in a collision with Johnny Peralta around second base, broke his forearm. He had surgery on it. He's going to be lost, they estimate, anywhere from 8 to 10 weeks, and Donald, who was acquired from the Philadelphia Phillies in the trade that sent Cliff Lee to Philadelphia, has filled in very well at shortstop.
Outfield slightly to the right, gap out there in left center. First pitch strike. 25-year-old infielder. That's low, 1-1. Chops that foul, and the Sox and the Cubs rivalry continues this season as the winner of the series takes home the Crosstown Cup presented by BP. For tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. Turns that one over.
Well,
and the count 2-2.
Yeah, you don't want to go to 3-2. Not necessarily because you can throw a ball four, but you take the force out of the equation, and the runners will be going, and it sets up a world of possibilities. That's why this is such a big pitch this inning.
Well, whatever you do, you don't want to get to chew.
I wouldn't think so.
That ball into center field. Can of corn. And that'll retire the side. We're halfway home. Yanks leads at 1-0. Off.
I'd like to add a little insurance here, as long as you're going to go through the heart of the order against Masterson. He's thrown the ball very well, except for the Ramirez home run.
He'll blow something off that breaking ball right there.
Well, he looks a lot different than he looked against our left-handers in Cleveland, because he's starting to do a few different things. He's not near as predictable.
There's in the right field base hit. Thank you very much. So now he is just one hit away from Lou Gehrig.
And once again, he ties Louis Aparicio.
We got to check with Elias.
We'll get the official standings. Well, that's some player you're looking at. First ballot, I believe, Hall of Famer.
I don't think he's any question about it.
But at 43 years old, he's just in magnificent shape. It looks like he can literally play as long as he wants to because he still has as good a hands as there is in the game.
Alex. 0 for 1 last time up. Fly deep to center field, taking Austin Kearns up against that Walgreens sign. Well, I love to watch Omar before the game. BP and taking ground balls. And then just before the game, he's out there loosening up with Gordon Beckham. And he was really putting on a little show for the fans there on how to catch the baseball about 13, 14 different ways.
Well, the one that I always like is when they put the glove up and put their hand right by it, and it looks like almost a boomerang. It looks like the ball barely touches his glove before it's in the throwing.
Well, he was doing that.
Yeah.
Most players can do that. But when you put it up, when you put your glove up, in his case his left hand is his glove hand. And all of a sudden you put your right hand right by your hip, your right hip. And it hits your glove, it comes right into your hand, and you just toss it back to back. That's pretty slick. He and Roberto Alomar were a joy, a treat to watch in batting practice. I used to just sit there and watch these guys and the things they practiced and did. Possibly the greatest second base and shortstop combination ever.
Well, it certainly is in the conversation. Now, we've seen a lot of good ones over the years. We've seen Trammell and Whitaker.
Well, here we had, after I played against them, Aparicio and Fox.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, it was terrific. Because there goes Omar, that ball into right field. And that's out number 1. But I think probably if you're talking about all around offense, defense, it's hard to beat Alomar in this field.
Omar used to be able to do something, and he did it consistently. He could use his bare hand catching the ball on choppers better than anybody that I've ever seen.
Me too. Yeah, he's what you call sure-handed on that play.
A very difficult play because, quite obviously, where you catch the baseball, you have to rotate it to get a good throw off, and
plus you got to catch the spin.
He was able to do it.
Andrew is 0 for 1 with a base on balls. Then he got a Lance Johnson jump, but unfortunately Masterson saw him. And there's a bowling book bounce right down to Peralta, and they'll turn it. So the leadoff single goes for naught, and we're into the 6th, leading 1-0.
question a little earlier, and here are the results so far. 50% say Cy Young. Pretty good choice. There's time to still vote on which of the records is most untouchable. Again, final results will be seen on the U.S. Cellular postgame show.
First pitch, curveball strike. Shin Soo Choo. There's a bullet by Kotsay. So the double. He is now 1 for 3, and that's his 11th two-bagger, and he is now 7 for 19 against Johnny Danks.
Could have easily been 2 for 3 because he hit a rocket, a sinking line drive that Rio stayed with. This one down the line, no chance at all for Mark Kotsay. And that's a tying run out at second base. So if you're Austin Kearns, who doesn't have the big power anymore, you've got to be thinking the right side.
He struck out his last trip. He singled softly into center field his first trip. Well, we just talked about it last inning that most of the good, real good left-handed hitters, they pull Johnny Danks. That pitch is fouled back. A lot of your not so good left-handed hitters, they'll try to hit the ball back through the middle and then the left center. But the good ones, no, they're right on it.
And AJ now coming out to have a word with John Danks.
And a reminder, Miller $1 million pitch presented by Miller Lite. That's Friday, June 25th, 3:05 p.m. White Sox against the Cubs. Miller Lite will give one lucky fan the chance to pitch for $1 million. So for tickets, call 866-SOX-GAME or visit whitesox.com. $1 million. And the count 2-1. Ranyan on deck. And Kearns with Chu at second got the catbird seat. Now trouble brewing.
Well, you could see what John was trying to get Kearns to do. He kept on going inside. He wanted him to pull the ball to the left side so that Chu wouldn't advance. Now you've got a guy that is not going to bunt, so you don't have to worry about it.
He has grounded to short, and he has struck out swinging on a good changeup. And there's a base hit. Quinton gets to it. They're going to hold Chu as Carlos gets to it. Makes a beautiful effort. Good effort. Got to it in a hurry. Made a very strong throw, although AJ had to go up the line to make sure it didn't get by him.
Well, AJ had a pretty good idea that Chu was not going to try to score, so he comes up away from the plate to try to smother the short hop. But there's no way that Steve Smith, with nobody out, is going to gamble with Chu, especially the fact that Carlos Quinton got to the ball quickly. So now bases loaded with nobody out, and a big jam for Don Danks, and the bullpen up and going on the Sox side of the field. Here comes Don Cooper.
Well, we talk about those strong left-handed hitters. They're going to pull him.
Sergio Santos getting ready in a hurry. Don Cooper out there to spend as much time as he possibly can until Ron Culpa decides to break it up. Well, John has the message from Don Cooper, and it's got to be that they'll trade the run for a double play. With the bases loaded, Johnny Peralta's been pretty good, but he is fairly slow. You can turn 2.
And he's 1 for 2. Takes it up high. 1-5-0 for our Sox. 0-6-1 for the Tribe, but they are cooking. There's a strike here in the top of the 6th inning. Sox packed with Indians, nobody out. This will be pitch number 97. And blocked nicely by AJ.
That one could have easily have gone to the screen. AJ saved the tying run. Take another look at it. Looked like a changeup. AJ able to block it.
That's foul. Just a hard strike to even a count at 2.
No problem with that cutter inside, because if he does hit it, if you get it in there, and John did, you can't keep it fair. See where AJ wants it? He doesn't get there, but he gets in enough.
Big pitch here, the 2-2. And it's full.
And another good stop by AJ. He's having a nice night behind the plate, and he's been put to the test a lot. 101 on the pitch coming.
Outfield straight up, and the payoff. Change up.
Well, John went to the pitch that he has the most confidence in. And with 3-2 and the bases loaded, the pitcher will tell you which is his confidence pitch. That time was a straight change.
And it is a 4-1. No, it's off the wall. That was a humpback line drive there. That ball got out there, nosedive. 2-run score. And it is 2-1.
RBIs 23 and 24 for Johnny Peralta, who has collected a couple of hits. This one just missed going out of the park. No chance for Juan as this ball hits off the top of the fence just below the yellow strip. And Dank's still in trouble. Runners at second and third. Only now he and the Sox trail.
Hafner has struck out and grounded to second. So Ramirez and Beckham going to play halfway, the corners. Kotsay saying, where you want me? Beckham now comes in. As there's first pitch strike. Now he moves back a couple of steps. Outfield slightly to the left. Now Alexei is in front of Peralta. And the count 1-1. 20,713 in attendance on a beautiful, beautiful evening here in the beautiful city. And he tries to muscle that one, and it's going to be a souvenir left side. All started with that bullet double down in the right field corner by Chu. Then Kearns walks. Granyon with a bullet single and then a bullet double by Peralta. So they're hanging out some hemp. Back to the middle. They're going to come home. Throws off the mark, but they're going to get it. He gone.
Well, John did a good job of slowing that ball down just enough so Alexei could take it and gun him out at the plate. big out because now the double play is in order and there's runners at first and second. He takes it right back up the middle. Looks like it just ever so slightly tipped off of John Danks. And there's a good tag by AJ. It is 1-6-2 on the play.
So here's Duncan. He is hit into a 5-4-3 double play and struck out. Struck out on a high fastball.
But with that swing and the fact that he is pulling out, I'm not sure what kind of coverage he can get on the outside corner. I know that he won't hit the Danks changeup if he keeps it right there.
And there was a changeup up down into the corner for the double. So Peralta's going to score, and it's a 3-1 Indian lead.
Well, Danks followed up a good changeup with a not so good changeup. Take a look at the location. He wants it low and away. He gets it belt high on the outer third. And Duncan drives in run number 5. 3 of them against us.
So now they go back to Ducks on the Pond with 1 down. And here is Valbuena, who is 2 for 2. Infield in. Third double of the inning. One and 1 to count for the 24-year-old second baseman. Shortstop.
Well, we know that he has a shortstop's arm because we saw it on a relay from Chu. Had to play at the plate. He can throw it.
The 1-1 pitch. That's up high. So advantage goes to Valbuena. Lou Marson, the on-deck hitter. 3-8-1 for them, 1-5-0 for us here in the 6th inning. Count evens at 2. High fastball. And there's a base hit. It is 4-1.
Valbuena came in hitting 149. And he's 3 for 3, and that's going to be it for John Danks. He's going to have a relatively early exit. And the starting pitching has been getting hurt. This slider up and out over the plate. Valbuena, who had pulled the first 2, hits it in the left field. So Sergio Santos coming in the game, and we'll be back after these messages.
Sportsnet fans' best friend.
It's our Lexus Pursuing Perfection call to the pen, and that call is Sergio Santos. Gave up a run in his last outing, but what an impressive year. Out for the 22nd time, ERA .93. Right-handers, left-handers alike have their problems with it.
Lou Marson 0 for 1 with a walk. Takes first pitch, breaking ball strike.
Pretty essential that you get out of this with just the 4 runs. Johnny Dank's a most unhappy man.
Well, thank goodness for Freddie Garcia.
There's no doubt Freddie has ascended to #1. That's subject to change throughout the year, of course, but right now Freddie's thrown it as well as anybody on this staff and better than most.
Four 9-1 for them, 1-5-0 for us. Our run, if you're just tuning in, came in the 4th inning. That home run by Alexei. And the Sox trying to get off this terrible streak that we're in. 4-18 after a win.
You've got to watch the bunt up the right side. Marson is a good handler of the bat. See the defense? They're playing about halfway in the infield, in the middle infield. And Ozzie, thinking along the same lines, decides to call a pitch out, but that puts Sergio in a 2-1 hole.
Yes, he did, says Ron Copeland, and the count 2-2. Jason Donnelly on deck hitter.
Joey Cora giving AJ the signs on if he wants to throw to first. You're not going to get a pitch out 2-2.
Golfer will not ask for any help from Lance Barksdale at first base. So the payoff pitch as he takes off, and there's ball 4. That will load him up. Take a look at this, what AJ wanted him to check on.
Very close, and usually you get an appeal on something that's that close.
Exactly, and he didn't get it, and that could have been strike 3 and a big out. Now there's sacks packed with 1 down. Donald is grounded to short, back to the pitcher, and going out to center.
Donald has pretty good speed.
And that slider upstairs.
He is yet to ground into a double play, but he's hit less than 60 times.
And the count 2-0 as that fastball misses. Got to find a way to stop this bleeding, boys. 4-1, Indians on top. And the 2-0 pitch. There it is, right there. 97. Outfield about equidistant. And the 2-1 delivery. That is 97 right by him.
Could certainly use a strikeout here. This will be a big one, especially with the man you have on deck.
He gone. 2 down.
He came all the way back and threw that fastball in a perfect spot right on the outside corner, and he threw it right by him. So now 1 out away from getting out of this with just the 4 runs. But that out's a tough one.
The man who started descending off with that bullet double down into the right field corner. Shin-Soo Choo. Jumping all over it. Meanwhile, a little tardy. That fastball at 97. And make no mistake about it, he can turn the 97-mile-an-hour fastball around. Big out. Big out in the scheme of things right here. And that's high.
He's got line break loosening in the pen.
Ground ball, nice pitch. So Sergio pitches out of it, but they put a 4 spot on forward, and we'll go to the bottom of the 6th trailing by 3. At the United Center. That's playoffs at 242-957 for your chance to win tickets to what hopefully will be an historic game. We trail it 4-1 here in the bottom of the 6th. Kotsay, Quinton, and Pierzynski. And the count 2-0. Mark has walked twice. Got half the 4 walks issued by Masterson. He has 1 strikeout. That was Juan Pierre leading off the bottom of the 1st. And the count 3-0. Started off right here, guys.
The walk would look awfully good.
And there it is.
3 for 3. High on base percentage.
So here's Carlos. He is bounced back to the pitcher and fouled out to Russell Branyan. Blue Jays beat the Yankees 6-1 up in Canada.
Now Marson goes out, wants to talk with Masterson, who's knocking at the door of 100 pitches. This will be his 99th coming up. Tim Belcher looking on.
And there's a strike. 1-1 to count.
Belcher is a new pitching coach, taking over from Carl Willis, as the Indians turned over just about everything after last season.
That's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Tim Belcher was a tough customer out on that mound.
He started out, he had a great arm and terrific stuff. And he was a pretty tough guy.
Well, you hit one of his guys, he's going to get 2 of yours. Watch out. He didn't want to do that. So we'll take it. A walk and a hit batsman got things going here, and that'll bring up Alexei. Or check it, AJ, who has grounded to first and grounded to second.
Well, now Belcher's coming out to talk with Masterson, who has yet to have a 1-2-3 inning. Carlos gets hit where there's a lot of padding, so probably not going to hurt him all that much.
Well, they're out there, bottom of the 7th. Got in Houston. Astros leading the Cubs 3-1. Boston pouring it on the Orioles.
The debut of Juan Samuel. The Samuel era has started.
11-0.
It hasn't started well, but it started.
So Belcher. Timmy has his say, and here we go. AJ. With that 0 for 2 tonight is now 5 for 10 lifetime off Masterson. That didn't take long. 2 down.
That's what a good pitching coach can do for you. Until you throw a ground ball, you get a double play. That's what Masterson did. Got the double play. Now Masterson has averaged just a touch over what he's at tonight. He's averaged 5 1/3 innings in his 10 previous starts. He's at 5 2/3 now.
Breaking ball way outside. Alexei grounded to short. That was in the 2nd inning. Then in the 4th, hit a high, long, towering home run to left field. And the count 2-0. If you miss that home run, poof.
Masterson tried to get that ball in, and Alexei took it out.
Number 5 for Alexei. And the count 3-0. Beckham on deck. And that's ball 4. So he has walked 2 in this inning, has hit 1, and yet there are 2 out and runners at the corner.
That's 6 walks and a hit batsman for Masterson, and he's been walking the tightrope all night long. But he'll walk it no longer. As Maniacta comes out, that's it for the big right-hander. He'll leave, and the only decision he could get would be a win.
So he has thrown 105 pitches as Masterson departs, and we'll be back.
5 years with Hawk Harrelson, Monday night at 9:30 on Comcast Sportsnet. So Alexis pursuing perfection, called to the pen, is Frank Herman. Those are AAA numbers, and they're fairly impressive. 19 appearances, a .31 ERA, 22 strikeouts, 8 walks, and a 3-0 record.
Hey, he's 25 years old, out of Rutherford, New Jersey. 6'4", 220 pounds, and evidently was quite an athlete. Standout football player, quarterback, and a safety. Recruited by several Big East and Ivy League schools to play football. As here is Beckham. That ball hit into left field. Duncan now goes back, reaches up. He almost misplayed it. Meanwhile, that'll retire the side. We threaten. The double play hurts. Source shop www.whitesox.com and accept no substitutes. Top of the 7th inning, not good. They lead it 4-1. Center fielder Austin Kearns will lead it off. He singled in the first, struck out in the fourth. Into a big walk last inning. Came run to score.
Going right to the heart of the order. This is a big inning for Sergio Santos. Already trailing by 3.
And there is a line shot. Alex has to pull up, so the leadoff man aboard.
Indians took a gamble on Austin Kearns after a disastrous year last year. Got invited to spring training. He secured a spot. That batting average is close to 290. So what a comeback year he's had.
Here's Branyan. He's 1 for 3. He ripped a single into right field last inning. Takes that fastball upstairs, ball 1. So Kearns right there talking to Sandy Alomar.
Talked to Sandy before the game tonight. Very nice, very smart man.
Well, he's going to be a great manager. I think he's got all the mixings, as they say. He's got the intelligence. He's got the guts.
He was a catcher.
The smarts.
Yeah.
He's got everything it takes to be a great one. Yes, he did. And the count 2-1.
Branyan thought he checked it up. Tom Hellion thought otherwise.
There goes the runner, and that pitch fouled away. So Kearns, who is 2 for 2 in stolen bases, had a decent jump.
He's that sneaky stolen base guy. That guy you disregard his speed, because he is a big guy. And that was the hit and run, however.
The 2-2. It's full.
Now you get an opportunity to strike him out, throw him out. If Maniac decides to run with Kearns. But Branyan is a prolific strikeout artist.
There goes Kearns, and it's academic. So the leadoff single, now the walk, and some more trouble. A Bruin right here. It'll bring up Peralta, who's 2 for 3, a single, and then last inning a big 2-run double. Looked like it was going to be a grand slam homer, but the ball got out there near the warning track, just nosedived and caught the top of the wall.
Double barreled action in the Sox pen.
And that's up in there.
Linebrink and Williams.
And that is into one of the super suites. They even accounted 1. Peralta hitting at .243 with 4 homers and 24 knocked in as he stands up to that dish.
Outfield exactly straight away, as is basically the infield.
Breaking ball high. Just tuning in, Sox 1 in the 4th. Indians 4 in the 6th off Johnny Danks. And that's fouled over on top of our dugout. So the count 2-2. First of a 3-game set. Tomorrow, Jake Peavy against Mitch Talbot. And if you can't make it to the ballpark, that game will be over WGN. 6:10 start.
Here's a look at Jake, who I'm sure is anxious for the start tomorrow night.
Take us a 6:05 start tomorrow. As he just did get a piece of that.
6:05 is a great time to pitch here, because you've got about an hour and a half of visibility that's not the best.
You pitchers are always looking for something like that. You
yeah.
scuff the ball, you try to get the sun right in the guy's eyes, you try to pitch at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, 5 o'clock if we could. In fact, you can get a lot of outs if you start at 5 with the game time at 6.
Well, 5 o'clock actually would be better for the hitter than 6.
It would, I know.
And that ball gets away, so the runners will advance. Ducks on the pond, nobody out.
And Sergio, that's going to be a wild pitch. Bob Rosenberg letting us know. It's the 4th wild pitch of the year as that slider goes in the dirt. AJ has it hit off the glove, and both runners advance.
Infield in. And the payoff pitch to Peralta. And that ball hit deep into left center field. Alex. Can't get it. So now they're going to wave the run around. He's going to throw the plate. He's safe. It scores 2, and it's a 6-1 ball game on Peralta's second double, his 3rd and 4th RBI.
Peralta with 4 runs batted in tonight. This one right down the middle. Long way to go for Alex. He can't get to it at the last instant. And here comes Ozzie.
We bring out the best in the Indians. There's no question about that. They are 6-3 coming into this ball game this year against us. And they come in at overall 19-33. So Santos will depart. And we'll be back.
Here's Randy Williams on for the 22nd time, 0-1 ERA, 5.66. He inherits Johnny Peralta, who's had a huge night tonight out at second base. It is a 6-1 Indian lead.
We just can't get off that streak. We talked about it. 4-18 after a win. Hafner fouls it back. He is 0 for 3. Reached on fielder's choice. 1-6-2 last inning, but he came around to score. 6-11-1 for them. Well, we got to tell you, we just can't get these guys out.
Somebody's getting them out because they're in last place, just not us.
That's right. We cannot get them out. Cues that one. Oh, man. So that'll bring up Duncan. He's 1 for 3.
He hit the ball pretty hard last time.
Well, you got a good pitch to hit it on.
RBI double.
High straight change. So they're going to put him on to get to Valbuena, who is 3 for 3 tonight with an RBI.
Valbuena's rounded into 2 double plays.
I was trying to think last night, Stone Pony, going home. I was trying to think if I've ever been on a ball club, because they didn't keep records like that in my time. And they haven't kept them that much on this particular issue until recently. What your record is after a win, or what your record is after a loss. I don't think I've ever been associated with a club that was 4-18 after a win. Can you recall?
No, and it's really amazing because you'd think somewhere along the line you'd get a pitcher having a bad night, or you get your lineup so hot that even if your pitcher gives up some runs, you come away with it. Hasn't happened so far very much.
That ball lined in left field. Pierre makes a nice catch. Going back, has to jump a little bit. A line shot off the bat of Valbuena, who looks like Roberto Alomar against us.
Or Babe Valbuena.
Man.
Good defense. Juan Pierre goes and gets it. Ozzy's going to go get Williams. And we're going to have another pitching change. So stay with us. We'll be back after these messages.
(674-1000) or visit whitesox.com.
Alexis pursuing perfection. Call to the pen is Scott Linebrink. On for the 19th time, a 1-0 record, a 4.22 ERA. He inherits Indian base runners at first and second. There are 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, but the scoreboard is not a pretty one.
4 in the 6th and 2 so far here in the 7th, with 2 out, 2 on. And Lou Marson, the catcher, who is 0 for 1 with a couple of walks.
Outfield playing Marson a couple steps into right center field.
And the count 2-0. Minnesota leading Oakland 2-0 that game in the bottom of the second out at the Coliseum. There's a strike. Well, the Mariners did a good job taking 3 out of 4 from the Twinkies.
I talked with Ron Washington, and he said that even though the Mariners are in last place in the West, he still worries about that team. He thinks they're going to come around.
And the count 3-1. And there's the strike, so full count with 2 out. Peralta at second, Duncan at first. And there they go. And he gone. But they come up with a pair. 7th inning stretch. They lead it 6-1. Juan Pierre here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Come on, guys, let's get something going. This is a terrific crowd. They've been into this thing. And they had a 1-0 lead until the 6th inning when they scored 4. They added 2 more last inning, or top half of this inning, I should say. And the count 2-0. Juan is 1 for 2. A strikeout, a walk, a stolen base, and an infield single. And the count 3-0.
Indians brought up Herman because they needed some guy who could get people out late in the game.
Well, they're not the only ones.
Well, there's a few teams that would like to have a good right-handed setup man.
And there's a strike, so the count goes full. And he comes back from 3-0 count. So that is out number 1. Well, Herman, I mentioned, heck of a football player. A lot of schools were after him. He opted to attend Harvard.
Nice choice.
And settled in to play baseball. Played 3 years at Herman.
It's Chris Perez loosing in the pen. Maniaca has opted to go for the defense with a lead. Trevor Crow takes over in center field.
Omar tonight is 2 for 3. A single in the first, a single in the fifth. Just one hit now behind Lou Gehrig for 55th spot all time. And count 2-0. 2,720 hits. And the count goes full.
They ran the count out on Pierre. Got him on a fly ball to center. He's run it out on Vizquel.
Swung at ball 4. 2 down. So his first major league strikeout.
And this ball well out of the zone. Terrific movement on it. I think Omar probably saw it as a pitch is going to be over the outside corner, but it moved 6 inches off the plate.
So here's Alex. Takes first pitch strike. Oh, we have got to get something. We've got to get some sort. And of course, the best way to get something going is to take it one game at a time. Don't be looking ahead. You know, there was a lot of conversation and anticipation about Cleveland really having a tough time of it. Coming in here, maybe the sweep. You got to get all those thoughts out of your mind. You got to play them one at a time.
And also, it's not like there's just one area that has to pick it up, because there's been inconsistency in all of the areas. But it starts with the starting pitching, and with an ERA of the starters in the 520s, it's going to make it very difficult to put together substantial winning streaks.
He just fights that one off, and that's not going to be playable. Well, when your starters, that was the thing that was the most valuable asset we had going into spring training.
There was no doubt that appeared to be the strength of the team, along with the back end of the bullpen.
We thought we were all set there. Nobody saw this coming. I mean, nobody saw this coming. Well, we got a lot of games this month here at home. As a count, he's gone full to all 3 guys. Freddie leads our staff with 5 victories. Ball smoked. It's the second ball as he had hit right on the barrel tonight. A 1-2-3 inning for Herman, and we'll go to the 8th. Dapper Chuck.
Does a nice job.
He's clean.
Comes out here to the ballpark.
Clean.
Gets the research done.
Jason Donald takes it low and away. He is 0 for 4. He's only one of 2 Indians without the benefit of a base hit tonight. He and Lou Marson. 21 to count. Outfield straight up. 6-1 Indians. That ball popped up into short left field. One coming on. Juan Pierre has done a better job in left field than I anticipated.
You know, he got off to a shaky start defensively. There was a couple of plays that he might have made, one especially in Texas. But overall, if you take a look at what he's done this year, he's actually played an excellent left field. I mean, look, the guy does not have a good throwing arm.
No.
That's not a debatable issue, but he's gone over and made some very good plays.
Well, he's made some plays I didn't think he could make. As here is Chu. He's 1 for 4. Started off that 4-run 6 with a screaming Mimi double into the right field corner, and the count 2-0. Indians trying to pick up their 7th victory against us this year in 10 games. If you would have told me that, I would have said stack it up.
Especially with Cabrera and Sizemore missing.
Stack it up.
Well, when you have 2 of your top 3 players gone for a long time, it usually is pretty tough on your club.
Juan, watch out. Had a little stutter step there that broke the timing on that play. So the count 2-2. There's a handsome couple.
Friday night at the old ball yard.
Fireworks after. Going bad today. This is cool.
Yeah. I'd like to see a few fireworks before this one ends.
Yeah. Full count for the 27-year-old outfielder. Fireworks tonight and tomorrow. He checks it up. He did not go, and that's ball 4. Sixth walk issued by our pitching tonight.
Chu is 9 out of 11 in stolen bases. So not only does he play a terrific right field with a very good arm and hits just about everything in sight, but he's a good runner on top of it.
Last year he was 21 for 23. So besides stealing the bases, he knows how. Of course, a lot goes into that. He has good speed, but he has also good instincts, good technique, and he evidently picks the right pitch many times. That ball hit hard into right field, deep, and gone. Austin Kearns, his 4th homer, and it's an 8-1 Cleveland lead.
Just his 4th of the year. His 3rd hit of the night to go with a walk and 3 runs scored. He's been a busy man. Now driven in 24 as he takes a fastball that's on the outer third of the plate and takes it out of the ballpark in right field.
So here's Kearns. Oh, check that. Branyan. Kearns just his 3rd hit of the game. Branyan is 1 for 3. And the count 0-2. They did not go. Final net from Houston, 3-1 Astros over the Cubs. Both teams really struggling. There's a good pitch right there, didn't get it.
AJ wants it inside.
That is a strike. They will not call. Well, we had a guy last night.
Yes, we did.
Bell called the inside strike. That's as I said, though. You only got 10 to 15 top percent with calling inside strike.
Well, Wally stayed consistent last night. He called that inside pitch from the first inning to the ninth inning. And if you took the pitch, then you weren't paying attention to the way the umpire was calling the game.
That's a fair ball. And it's interfered with.
Yeah, it looks like the
security
ball person had a glove on it. Now the umpires make their decision, and that is, I believe, to go back to second base. Brannigan just flips the bat. This ball went over the bag. It is indeed a fair ball. But you can't really be catching that one.
So they had him struck out. Wasn't called, and there's the double. And here's Peralta. He's got a couple of doubles and a couple of two-run doubles.
Five doubles and a home run tonight for the Tribe.
And there's another Matabatacola.
Here's our Xfinity time-defining moments. And it comes courtesy of Johnny Peralta. Peralta's two-run double. This coming in the sixth. And then another two-run double. This coming in the seventh. 4 runs batted in. Helped to salt this lead away.
Eight 13-1, while the Indians won 5-0 for our Sox in the first of this 3-game set. And there's a base hit back through the middle. So Brannigan will stop at third base.
There's an example of Brannigan, and we talked. It's a subtle thing. It won't matter here tonight because it's 8-1. But Brannigan didn't know where the infielders were. He had to realize that Ramirez was to his right. He had to realize that Beckham was way away from the play. When that ball's hit, you got to score on that.
That's a dinosaur. It's a dinosaur.
Well, we see some guys do it. We don't see a lot of them, but in this case, it cost him a run.
Probably
again, not going to hurt him.
Tops. 5%.
That's just taking advantage of what's going on in the field at a given time.
Hafner just absolutely saw it off right there. Check the thumbnails. And that's out number 2. So here's Trevor Crowe hitting in Duncan's slot. Duncan was 1 for 3, had an RBI double. And that ball hit hard in the right center field. Nobody was going to get it. That's going to be a triple for him. Scores a pair, and it is 10-1.
Well, Crow can fly. And when that ball got over the head of Alex Rios, he knew that nothing was going to stop him from going to third base. It's a 9-run lead as this ball drifts out over the plate. And Crow, getting his first at bat of the night, drives home 2 runs. That gives him 11 for the year.
And here's the 8th man to come to the plate. Valbuena, who is 3 for 4. Only out he made was a line shot into left field that Juan Pierre made a nice catch on. Well, I know what we need. That's into left field. But another crooked number goes up on the board, and we'll go to the bottom of the 8th, trailing by 9.
And early in the game, this is what happened. A long drive to left field. And a fan just reaches up and makes a great catch. Gets the congratulations. That's our Home Depot doing more on defense, so you can tell how this one's been going.
Give that fan a contract.
Give him a couple of them. Jensen Lewis. Oh, stereo Jensen Lewis. Very nice. This is the first time I can remember facing 2 Lewises in back-to-back series.
Colby and Jensen.
Yep.
Andrew hits that ball. A line drive into left for out number 1. Well, a nice major league debut. Frank Herman faced 4 guys, retired them all. Here's Mark Kotze. He's perfect on the evening. He's 0 for 0 with 3 walks.
Good on base percentage. Another fan made a nice catch.
And the 0-2 pitch. A little high and wide. We had a 1-0 lead. That was after 5. They scored 4 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and 4 in the 8th.
Turned out John Danks went 5 in the 3rd, gave up 4 runs on 9 hits, walked a pair, fan 5. Santos 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs, 2 hits, 2 walks and a strikeout, and Williams 2/3 of an inning and a walk.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Kotsay. Ten, 15-1 for them, 1-5-0 for us. And this is going to be out number 2 as Trevor Crowe will make that play. And that'll bring up Carlos Quentin. Carlos has bounced back to the pitcher, fouled out to first, and then was hit by a pitch. Just can't get over the hump.
No, and Justin Masterson is going to break his personal 11-game losing streak.
That's popped up. So Jensen Lewis comes in here. 1, 2, 3. That is 7 in a row retired by Cleveland pitching, and we're into the 9th.
Got some changes in the infield. Brett Lillibridge takes over at shortstop. Jason Nix checks in to third base. And J.J. Putz on the hill. J.J. 0-2, ERA going down seemingly with every performance. It's 3.06 on for the 18th time. Cleveland well ahead in this one.
Lou Marson will lead it off. Takes first pitch strike. Marson has hit into a 6-4 fielder's choice, walked a couple of times, and struck out. That's low. And after this hitter, we're going to be taking you back to our studios for a Blackhawk update. with our buddy Pat Boyle. That pitch fouled away. And count 1-2. Four in the sixth, 2 in the seventh, and 4 in the eighth. Yes, he did. No, he didn't.
Gets a break. Looked like he might have gone around. It's a splitter. He went way around.
There's no question about it. No question about it. Full count. So you had him struck out. Now he's on first base. And right now, let's go back to our studios and Pat Boyle. All right, Pat, thank you very much, buddy. Yeah, they got close with those 2 goals in the third. Almost had a tie. Almost had it. But Pat, and then we'll show you that in the wrap-up. Jason Donald takes a strike. 0-2 the count. Just tuning in, this game started. Johnny Danks on the bump for us against Justin Masterson, who had lost 11 in a row for them. He gone. 1 out.
Threw the fastball by him. And now Chu again.
Well, Johnny just, for the most part, sailed through the first 4 innings. Actually, the first 5.
He had things well in hand, and all of a sudden.
He had a little problem at the top of the 5th, but outside of that, first 4, he just sails through. As Chu can't get it.
Well, the Chu double started it off. Then the hits just kept on coming.
Yeah, they did. Leading started and couldn't stop it. And Masterson went 5 2/3, and of course the only run he gave up was that home run to Alexei. Alexei's 5th of the year.
You go 5 2/3, you give up 5 hits and walk 6, and only give up 1 run.
Well, we stranded the bases loaded in the first. We stranded 2 in the second. 1 in the third. So in the first and second innings, we had him on the ropes and couldn't do anything with it. And that can change the whole complexion of Mr. Momentum. That's out of play to even the count at 2. But the greatest thing about the game of baseball is there's tomorrow. And it'll be Jake Peavy on the bump against Mitch Talbot. The only bad thing is Talbot is 2-0 against us this year. So make your plans to be with us. Maybe we'll get a fireworks again tomorrow night. And that ball into left center field. Smooth play right there for Alex. 2 down.
Austin Kearns has had a very good night in an effort to keep his bat in the lineup and still have Duncan play. Kearns started in center field, something he hasn't done a whole lot of. And it's been his bat that's made a huge difference.
That opposite field 2-run homer as he takes upstairs.
3 runs scored on 3 hits and a walk, as well as 2 driven in. So it's been a busy night for Austin Kearns.
Kearns 6'3", 240. Can't get that one.
Former #1 with Cincinnati Reds. He was a high draft pick.
The PV against Talbot tomorrow night. If you can make it, that game will be over WGN. And the finale of the series on Sunday as the ball gets away. So Morrison into second. On Sunday, Mark Burley against Jake Westbrook. That game right back here on Comcast Sportsnet. Then an off day on Monday, and then we'll conclude this homestand with 3 against the Tigers, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Then it's on to Wrigley Field.
Two struggling teams. Houston beat the Cubs 3-1 tonight. Down at the juice box.
For Paulino, who started that game, that's his first win of the year. He was 0-7. Zambrano getting his first start in over 6 weeks. Apparently threw the ball pretty well, but he lost that game. And neither team is doing a whole lot of hitting recently.
2 out, 2-2 the count. He gone. So a couple of strikeouts for JJ. We'll go to the bottom of the ninth. We need a bunch. Smirnoff, Blackhawks post-game live immediately after this game.
Rafael Perez 1-0. ERA .661 on for the 21st time. There you look at the numbers. Left-handers hurting him, right-handers killing him, and the opposition hitting .382. That does not for a good record make.
A couple of years ago, this guy was unhittable.
He was, at the time, one of the best set-up left-handers in baseball.
Oh, yeah.
And they're still trying to figure out what happened.
Well, that's a never-ending process in this game of sports.
Well, they catch up with you sometimes, start to lose your confidence, miss with the breaking ball. Can happen in a hurry.
Well, it goes back to the old mirror. Whether you think you can or whether you think you can't, you're right either way.
Well, one thing about the major leagues, you don't have to guess about your stuff, because the hitters are going to tell you just how well you're throwing.
The 1-0 to AJ, and he kind of uses a run. What gets me sometimes is the rationale. You know, in sports, you got to have a short memory because you're going to have a lot of bad days. You're going to have more bad days than you are good days. And you have to have a short memory. And you have to have the power of rationale. Athletes have a tremendous power of rationale. We all have. There's a shot, base hit. Drew, who was playing almost on the track, gets it back in. So AJ now 1 for 4.
You want to go into that no doubles defense 10-1 in the ninth.
You play on a track.
It's a deep set.
So here's Brent Lillibridge. That's what he was doing down to Charlotte. 19 stolen bases to go along with that. Talking to Brent the other day, I said, hey, you stole some bases. He said, yeah, well, I was on base. I looked at him and smiled and I said, that's the key. Can't get it. We had a pitcher here back in the 90s who was just getting hammered. I mean, just getting smoked every trip out there. So I think we were in Kansas City, and it was getaway day. And he goes out, he goes, I think, 2 1/3, gives up 8 runs. And, I mean, there was shots flying all over Kauffman Stadium.
That's not so good.
So we're on the flight back home, and I go in the back to get a beer. And he looks at me, he's standing there, looks at me and says, Hawk, that ball hit hard but foul. He says, you know, I had good stuff today. He said, I'm just on one little streak right.
One of the streaks where he's not missing any bats.
They're hitting them where they ain't. I looked at him. I didn't say a word. I just looked at him for a couple of seconds. What are you going to say when a guy tells you that? You know, nothing you can say.
You're pitching in tough luck. The other guy brought a bat to the plate.
The team decided, that other team decided they wanted to hit today. Here's the 0-2. And that's popped up into short center field. And that is out number 1. Well, let's see. Looks like our fans are going to win the pick to click tonight. We just started that in case you did not hear, because you at home now can be a part of our picks to click segment for each game. All you got to do is tune into the Felco pregame live each game to see Ozzy's lineup, then make your selection on who you think will be the pick to click of the game. And tonight the fans picked Omar Vizquel, who was 2 for 4. So join in and have a little fun with us over the rest of the season.
And beat me like a rented donkey.
Well, they're going to do that.
I got close today. Carlos got hit once.
Harold here, he's got the power of rationale, I'll tell you.
I was nosed out by an island.
The Senator. 2 balls and a strike to Beckham, who's 1 for 3. Who also picked up his 4th stolen base. That was back in the 2nd inning. As I mentioned, if you're just joining us after watching the Blackhawks, we led this thing 1-0 after 5.
John Danks was sailing right along at that point.
Yeah. Yeah. 4 in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, and 4 in the 8th. And watch out. This ball game is over. So the Sox, in a disappointing loss after coming off that win from Texas, we're now 4-19 on the season, Stone Pony, after winning a ball game.
And Hawk, the toughest part of this is that we're just 14-14 at home, and this has got to be the month where we start to make it happen, or it's going to be close to impossible.
Well, we still got a whole bunch of this month left, but right now let's check out our GMC player of the game. It is the third baseman, Johnny Peralta. Oh, he was 4 for 5 with 2 2-run doubles and a couple runs scored. Our GMC player of the game. So for my partner, the Stone Pony, Steve Stone, our director Jim Angio, our producer Mike Leary, our associate producer Dave Ross, our technical manager Mark